Wanted to do a recording, but I slept really late. It's 3 p.m. I don't know how that happened. I'm happy about it though, because I feel rested. I know I had good dreams and weather was decent, so I didn't have to run the air conditioner. It's real loud, and my cat left me alone, more or less. He's kind of settled into a diet. I magneted his milk thing to the. He sleeps on top of a plastic storage bin. It's like my medicine box. It's got like all of my medical stuff in it, and he would drink the milk and then he would kick it off. So I got some powerful magnets and put it on the underside of the plastic lid. It's fairly thin, and it's a steel generic cat food can with the lid safety removed off, so no sharp edges. And I pour lactose-free whole milk into it, and because I need to fatten him up, and he's really super picky. He's gotten thin because he won't eat his food, and I don't know if I can blame him. I mean, it's probably terrible because I mean, look at what they do to American food, like people food. So they must put absolute crap in the cat food, and I trust his senses more than mine. Um, so yeah, and he's a little picky about it. You know, I can't give him a large amount at once. Uh, I need to space it out just a little, but I've got it good. Like I've given him I've refilled his little container there like maybe 10 times now, and he's drained it completely and in a row without incident, without having to stop to wash it or without have to dump bad, anything like that. He's just drinking it like a cup of milk, and the continued flow is making, and he's thorough because it's slightly tilted, so it all runs to a little lip on the inside, and he nails that. So it's like cleaner than what I leave a bowl, being honest. So I just go get the container out of the fridge and I pour it directly into the thing because it's one of those cardboard ones about that big with the screw top, but it's paper, And I completely filled it and he drank about half of it. And it's tilted, so it's not fully 5.5 ounces. So I'd just say it's about 5 ounces. So he's drinking about 2 to 3 ounces in a sitting, and I can leave that there, and he'll just curl up. And so yeah, I did that, and then I made coffee, and I'm doing a little bit of a coffee experiment. Like I had to replace my machine; my old one died, but holy crap, did it see use! I think I think just the water quality here is not great, and even though it's filtered, it's probably pretty hard. So there's lots of minerals, and they're not really made to be cleaned. And I think it was a little too late. Like I need to. I tried running vinegar through it to save it, but I don't think it was like the actual main coffee loop that failed. I'm using like a pod coffee machine, a generic one, and a stainless steel little cup that I refill. And the thing is, it like has a separate pump, and that's what died. Like the pump went, and then it wasn't like, and it's a hard time cycle. There's no sensors, so the length of time it would run was not enough to completely cycle all the heated water through it. And what I tried to do to save it was fill it with vinegar and let it sit overnight, and then run vinegar through it, and then let it sit and run vinegar through it again, trying to basically dissolve everything it could touch. And but that wasn't enough. It had no effect, no change, and the vinegar came out completely clear. So as far as I could tell, nothing was. And there was only really one accessible filter, and if there's one on the inside, I wasn't about to take it apart and go through it. Um, and so I replaced it, and it lasted like 4 years or something. It's a long time. Um, so this one, I it's like one scoop in the thing, and that does like a 7-8 ounce cup of coffee because I had a lot of half and half, and because it's basically breakfast. I don't eat breakfast. I just drink a big coffee, and I use maple syrup for the sugar. Not much at all, like maybe a tablespoon, something like that, just to make it not bitter. Uh, but it's never enough. Like I'll get to the bottom of the cup eventually, and I'm like, need a little more. So I doubled it up, like 2 scoops of coffee in the thing, and it closes all kind of tight because it's meant to pressurize through one of those little plastic pods, and there's a seal at the top and everything. But I was a little worried that it was too much coffee because it completely filled the little pod, stainless steel pod thing. And I also gave it a full round of water, like up to the max fill line on the inside. And I've got a little stainless steel pitcher with a handle, and that's the only thing. It's the only way it will fit like all of that through one cycle because this is too tall. And all the cups are too tall, this side, that are specifically designed for coffee. It's very weird. Like it's supposed to have a coffee pot, right? But they don't come with one, so I had to buy one separately. That's what that is. It's like a stainless steel strainer coffee pot. Pour over. I've got the filter on a shelf somewhere and I never use it. It's cool though. It's good to have as a backup. Like if that coffee machine dies and I can't replace it for a time or whatever, I can use a kettle and use that as a pour over and it'll be fine. But doing it that way through one of those little stainless steel pods is better than pour over. Not only is it easier, but it just tastes better. And I used to do the whole thing, and I've done vacuum coffee and all of it. Used to grind it and looked into cooking my own, buy the beans and roast them myself, all that crap. I've gotten a lot of people into coffee. People who are like, I don't like coffee. And I was like, you just need a good cup. One guy, a roommate, I almost feel bad getting him into coffee because holy crap, he for a long time, that was his primary food. I mean, he would just make big full size drip pots, 2 or 3 a day. It's like, whatever. I mean, there's worse things to do to yourself, right? But so yeah, I wanted to record, but then I sit down and have messages and stuff and talking to people but no interruptions. I mean, not that I'm complaining. It's like I want to hear from the people I want to hear from, right? It's just inspiration is fleeting and the motivation and stuff. This is all right. It's I got to work out the ratios a little different because I had the little cup perfect. And there is a concern about essentially having to double up on either, or at least increase the amount, the flat amount of sugar and fat and stuff I'm getting. I'm not worried about the fat at all, to be honest. But sugar's bad for you. It does a lot of horrible things to your body, and I know that, and I consume it anyway. But I do try to limit it, minimize the damage, slow the rate of decay, so to speak. And another thing I was inspired to do is just post something strictly personal, not talk about society or anything. Just, good morning, internet. Inno here. And I do think of myself as Inno. Like, my name is Innoman, and it's supposed to mean nameless because I don't feel like I have a name. Like, I know my name is Brandon, and it's like, I don't feel that. I've never felt like my name is my name. I've never felt like I've never felt like I had a name. And I suck in games of generating names. Typically what I do is I look at what they do and I look up a Latin word that sounds remotely cool, similar related. I like labels, not names, so to speak. And I don't use people's names often. I'm like, hey, general kind of stuff. And I'm terrible at remembering names. So maybe that's part of it. I don't know. But anyway, I do think of myself as, like when people talk to me online and stuff, like that's what I just feel like that's what I should be called. So yeah, rambling and good morning with Inno. If I ever had a Twitch identity or whatever, or developed a good gaming channel, I would call it Off Topic. Like that's definitely what I would call it. And I kind of feel like I should try and nail all that down if it's not taken already, you know. But even if it was, I would just number it or whatever, Off Topic 15, just to cover the bases, just to plant a flag or whatever. Because yeah, that's what I do. Like I don't everything reminds me of something else. Whatever I'm doing wants me to go somewhere else in my brain. So, but yeah, I'm gonna just upload that. We'll see how that goes. Thanks for watching.